Now, students, let's revise the very first poetry of Flamingo, that is My Mother at 66, written by Kamla Das. Do you remember what was there in the poem? This poem, My Mother at 66, is a poem whose author is Kamla Das. The writer is famous for capturing the complications of human relationships. This poem is one of the best examples of bonding in humans, especially the bond between a mother and a daughter. This poem defines the fear of the author of losing her mother, which shows that she was very close to her mother and loved her very much. My Mother at 66 summary will elaborate on the feelings of the author and will also define the meaning of the poem. So let's begin with the summary. Aging is an inescapable phase of every human life. A person enters their childhood experiences, adolescence when they are energetic and have so many dreams. Finally, every person approaches their old age and then they die. Relationships between people become much stronger in every phase of life. No one can bear the separation from their loved ones just because of aging. Firstly, in this poem, when the author, going to Cochin airport with her mother, looks at her carefully and presents before us her image. As she looks at her mother's soft and whitish face, she gets stuck with the fear of losing her mother. Her mother, with a sleepy face and open mouth, is comparable to a corpse. Here, the author shows love and affection in a relationship between a mother and a daughter. The poet is hurt and sad and shifts her attention outside the car for driving out the undesirable feelings. She changes her bad mood. The scene from the window of the car is of rising life and energy. The fast sprinting green and huge trees alongside the cheerfully playing kids represent life, youth, and vitality. The poet here is remembering about her own childhood. In her childhood, her mother was young and beautiful, whereas now her mother is surrounded by the fear of losing her life, and that made her insecure and sad. She reaches the airport to take her flight. It shows departure and parting, which makes her sad. As she said goodbye to her mother, the image of the old mother in the dusk of years strikes her. Here, again, a simile is comparable with her mother, with the late night moon of the winters. The light of the moon is an obstacle by the fog and haze as she appears older now. The poet is now feeling the pain of getting separated because of leaving her mother. Her childhood fear of losing her loving mother now became so terrifying. Now, her mother could die of old age any time unexpectedly. She is so sad that she starts crying slowly without control. But keeping a brave heart, she hides her tears and starts smiling. Thus, she offers her farewell to her old mother and keeps her hope of seeing her mother alive again. She says, "See you soon, Amma." She hides her tears and sorrow as she does not want to make a painful and emotional environment. Moreover, she doesn't want her mother to cry and shows her that she is enjoying her life. She expects her mother to be happy and enjoy her life just like her. So this was the poem. Now, what conclusion do we derive by this poem? The conclusion that we get from the poem My Mother at 66 is that beautiful relationship between the poet and her mother. The summary shows the theme of the advancing age of the mother of the author and the fear of separation. This is apparently short poem touches upon the theme of a beautiful bond between the mother and the daughter. It shows how beautiful a relationship a mother and a daughter can have. So, in this poem, we see that the poet has used the various poetic devices. The main poetic devices that are used in the poem, as I told you, is simile and repetition. Simile is used at many places, like when the poet says, "Her face ashen like that of a corpse," is a simile, where the mother's face is compared to a dead body. Another simile is wan pale as a late winter's moon. The words like pale and wan reinforce the idea of pallor and lifelessness. Winter symbolizes death, thus, the mother face is indicative of her very frail health and approaching death. And at many places, the poet has used repetition also. As you can see, that in that line, smile and smile and smile. The repetition of the word smile indicates the rather long, hollow, and artificial smile the poet had to put on to cheer up her mother and to hide her own worry, anxiety, and guilt. And at many places, the poet has also used the images and symbols like trees sprinting and merry children, symbolic of youth, vigor, vitality, life, and growth. Winter's moon, symbolic of death. And the main rhyme scheme that the poet has used is the free verse. That is, the poem has no rhyme scheme and it is written in free verse.